Hey.
Hello. We are back and we are live on both of our accounts again. So, in case anybody's new, I'm Haley, registered nurse of like 9 years, mom of a 4-year-old, and have been doing high ticket sales and like changing my mindset and like my money mindset and all that for about the last year. It'll be a year in April, I think.
Yay. Yeah, and I'm Jordan, registered nurse, about 6 years, mom of 3, stepmom of 1. And yeah, started high ticket, kind of changed my mindset. It'll be a year for me, I think, in May. And yeah, it's just like completely changed, my mental outlook on life and everything. And so we're just going to kind of talk about vibrations. And I feel like this is one of Haley and I's like favorite subjects.
It really is.
Talking about like vibrations, mindset, manifestation, kind of all the nerdy science stuff. And yeah, so
Yeah, it's so funny because actually, like, my husband has never once cared about any of this, right? Like, he's like, whatever, crazy lady, like, do whatever you want. And then, like, this morning after dropped Olive at school, I don't even remember what question he asked me. And I was like, okay, well, what route do you want to go? Do you want to go like the science route? Do you want to go like the like spirituality route? Like, where do you want to go with this? And he's like, I don't know, both. So then we literally just sat in the car and I like talked at him essentially because he's never like had a conversation like this before. And he was like, whoa.
right.
Yeah. So that was kind of fun.
Well, and that's funny too, because like whatever. So astrology, I'm kind of a nut for it.
Yes.
And so I'm always like, I don't know, so like my 17-year-old, her boyfriend, I'm like, okay, he's a Cancer. And so he's a sensitive, emotional being, and she's like, oh my gosh, he is. And whatever. And so then I just kind of like talked to her because she's our fire sign. She's our only fire sign. And so, yeah, I just think it's so cool. And some people I think are just like, oh, that's so weird. But like, astrology and, the moon and the stars and the energy and all the things, like it isn't something that you want to use to like transform your life, okay? Because that's something you have to do on your own. But I think that it helps to like give us direction and like guidance and insight on like who we are as people. So yeah, I don't know. I'll let you go for a little bit.
Well, I mean, like it really is. And like they have proven scientifically, right, that like the moon and the gravitational pull and like whatever of the planets affects like the waves, currents, blah, like all these different things, right? So why wouldn't it affect other things? Like they've proven that it affects animals too, like animal behavior, right?
Yep.
So like why wouldn't it affect people as well?
Mm-hmm.
Right? And then so like you can actually go onto the website. I can't remember what the website is called. My something something something. We'll think of it here in a moment. And you like put in your name. Well, you don't have to your name, but like then it like links to your email, whatever. But you like put in the location that you were born, the time you were born, the day you were born, and it literally gives you your birth chart. And it tells you like what works best for you in life. And it is so scary accurate.
Well, and so I actually just learned this. So, and you want your minute, or like you want your birth time down to the minute. The reason why is because so I was just reading. So no one other person is going to have your exact horoscope. So like how the planets and the stars and everything aligns, it only happens once every 4,320,000 years. And so then people are like, well, what about twins? But so the ascendant, it's changing like every minute. So all the planets are, it's all moving every minute. So when twins are born, they aren't the same because everything's different a minute later, you know? And so then there was actually some studies done about astral twins. And so these are like people who, so like Haley, say you and I were born on the same day at the very same time. Okay. But obviously in different, different parents or whatever. Yeah. And so they've done these studies about, and it's very, very rare, but they've done studies on these people. And like, they say that they marry at the same time. They have the same amount of kids, the same sex of kids. And it can all go down to the same time of like, even when they end up like dying.
That's so wild.
Isn't that crazy?
Parallel universe wild. Well, okay, so I accidentally have spent like $40 on this stupid app. Okay, it's like a astrology app because it was like download for $1 or whatever. And then
what app is it?
What is it even called? Astrology Today or something.
Okay.
Don't do it. I got to figure out how to get my card off of there because they've charged me like $40 for this. I've only had it like 2 weeks, but it's really cool because I like put in, all my stuff for my birth chart. And then it literally like talks about compatibility, right? And like who I'm the most compatible with. And it literally is my husband down to a T.
Yeah.
Like his signs, like everything. And I'm like, that is scary.
Yeah.
Like that is really kind of scary,
Well, I have Astroline.
Let me.
And it's a free app. And it has like lots of different things in there. But and so there is so much to learn about astrology.
Wait, no, that is what I have. Sorry, I don't know what I was telling you, but it is Astroline. But for some reason, mine is they charge me money.
Huh.
Right? Because does it look like this? Oops.
Well, maybe
You probably have the free version. I probably accidentally paid for the like.
Well, no, maybe I paid for the whole year, which is like it's $30 a year.
They've charged me 2 separate things of like $19.99. What a bugger. That's how they get you. That's how they get you.
That is how they get you. But it is pretty cool because it has like the Chinese horoscope, like the Mayan horoscope, like all the different. It's just really involved. I like it, but no, so I'm like learning all this new stuff about astrology, and I've been into astrology for like years and years, right? Mm-hmm. And so like I remember reading like the newspaper and like how I'd have like your horoscope in there. Mm-hmm. And it'd be like, okay, this doesn't like sound anything like me. Well, the reason why is because so each sign, each zodiac sign is broken down into 3 parts. Mm-hmm. So you can have different, so like I'm a Capricorn, so you can have like 3 different Capricorns. Mm-hmm. And then also, so like my boyfriend, he's a Taurus, right? But I'm like, he is not all a Taurus. Well, the reason why is because he's born on the cusp. And mm-hmm. so he's a Taurus with lots of Aries tendencies.
Yeah.
And so because I'm like, Taurus, they're kind of like calm and relaxed and just like whatever. And I'm like, okay, that's not him. Well, that's because he has a fire sign in him. And so a lot of stuff like relates to that too. So that's where it's just like, you really have to know like down to more specifically. Yeah. And yeah, it's just really cool. Really cool. And it, it kind of helps you to like understand like your husband or your boyfriend and just like how they respond or how they react. And, just kind of maybe change, like I've changed my approach in some things, like how I approach him because of the way that he responds.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, exactly. And then like when we talk about signs too, like most people only ever like learn about like, what is it, their sun sign, right? Yeah. But like she's saying, like there's more, like you have more than just one sign, like you have all these different ones. So like let me see here, where is mine? My moon sign just happens to also be Cancer. So I'm a Cancer in my sun and a Cancer in my moon.
Oh, you're a Cancer too.
Yeah, yeah. And then like all these different other things, like I'm an Aries in my Saturn or like a Venus in my Gemini. Like there's so many different things of it that you like can look into. But if
Mm-hmm.
you go to, I just found the website too. It's called My Human Design.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Anyways, that is a good free website where you type in all your stuff and then yeah, it'll kind of break it down for you and then you can like look up each thing individually as well if you wanted to like learn more about it. Or we actually have a woman, this is not a plug or it's not a sponsor, but it's kind of like a little plug for one of our women on our team. Remind me what her name is again.
Amanda Gordon.
Amanda Gordon. So
Yeah.
she actually does like human design readings and she's like really good. And I haven't done it yet, but Jordan did it and had a really good experience.
Yes.
And so like learning about yourself in these ways is really good with understanding like what is going to work best for you in your life, right? And like this kind of goes into it can go into like any different which way that you want it to, right? We could move it into like more spirituality, we could move it into like the science part of it, but everything is connected as far as like raising your vibration, right? So if we're going to talk about vibration, everything is vibration. Okay. Everything is vibration. Even though like this looks solid, it's actually vibrating, right? On like a molecular level. Like if you take it all the way down to like an atom, right? So in an atom, there's a nucleus, right? And so like when you remember in science class, there's like the nucleus in the middle and there's like all this space and then like the atom. Well, they have discovered that inside of that is actually a bunch of like vibration, right? So you know how we can't see like sound waves, right? But like we know that like music is causes vibration and whatever. That's happening inside of these. So even though everything is made up of atoms and it looks solid, it's actually vibrating. And so whatever vibration we have, whatever vibration we carry affects the things around us and vice versa. And so if you want to have like a higher vibration, a more positive vibration, right? You need to do the inner work to make your vibration higher and then surround yourself with things that are also vibrating at a higher level.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and it's like, it doesn't, and that's the thing is like there's all these different routes. So you have the spiritual route, you have the mind body energy route, the scientific route, and then you also have the psychological route. And so really it's all in like it doesn't really matter what you believe. It's all saying the same thing, just in a different way.
Exactly.
So like spirituality says, like believe and trust. Energy work says align and unblock. Science says everything is frequency, and psychology says rewire your patterns. And essentially that's all raising your vibration.
Yeah, and it really is. And so I have dug like in the last year so deep into each individual one, just like trying to figure out like, okay, what is this, right? So first I started with the quantum physics route, right? And that is like where essentially there is infinity possibilities in the world. Everything is vibration, everything is energy, blah, 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 right? And then I went down more of the like spiritual route, right? Where like, okay, there is high vibration, middle vibration, low vibration, right? And it's kind of just how it sounds, right? So you have like your spirits that are high vibration, your angels, your whatever. You have the mid vibration where we are right now. And then you have the lower vibration, which is, your lower vibe things, right? Like drugs, alcohol, murderers, like those are down here. Okay. And so like they're around us all the time. Okay. We just can't see them because we're in this middle vibration. Right. But like you get feelings, right? You get like you can walk into a room and sense that like, ooh, this is like, this feels low, this feels whatever. Or you walk in a room, like you walk in church, right? And it just feels like, oh, like this higher vibration, this like happiness, whatever. Like you're feeling those different spirits, those different vibrations. And then like if you move into the like whole body thing, I can't remember how you worded it. The
mind body spirit.
Yeah. Like the mind body thing, whatever. So then you can think of like Buddhism, right? And you can think of like your different chakras and everything. Okay. And then you can move into, like the psychology part of it, like you talked too. Like if you are having negative thoughts and you're stuck in this negative pattern, like it's just going to keep repeating in your brain. Like when you're a child, you develop an attachment style. Okay. Whether you had a traumatic childhood or you had the perfect childhood, like doesn't matter. You have some sort of an attachment style. And like we can break that down with like a triangle. All right. So on your triangle, let me draw one out here. On one part of your triangle, you're going to have like a situation, right? So the situation could be like, my daughter doesn't want to go to school, right? So like we're being late. Okay. So being late is a situation. What is my feeling with that? Anxiety. And then what do? I holler at her and say, get in the car, right? So like, why am I yelling though? Why is her being pokey causing me to yell? Right? I don't know, because it's bothering me, right? Like, let's get going. But then like, if you break it down, at some point in my childhood, I attached being late with not being loved. And you're like, whoa, how'd your brain jump that far? Well, through cognitive therapy, I have learned that like, hey, if I'm late, that means everyone's going to be watching me. Okay, if everyone's watching me, that means that they're judging me. Okay, if everyone's judging me, that means that they think that I'm a bad person. Okay, if I'm a bad person, nobody's going to want me. If nobody wants me, nobody loves me. And so like now in this moment of my daughter being late, my brain isn't going through all those thoughts. It's immediately jumping to like, we're late, nobody's going to love me. And it's that being triggered is what people call it. Like, oh, I don't know, for some reason that situation triggered me to whatever. Yeah, because it literally does. So like you have developed this cycle in your head that you're not even aware about that is happening. And so like if you're stuck in that negative thing, it's just going to keep going until you break it, until you can change that into more of a positive situation. That went on a tangent, but like that kind of explains like the cognitive part of it. And so where do you want to go from here? Do you want, because like I could keep going.
Well, so another thing is too, so like the scientific, so like physics tells us that everything's made up of atoms, right? And atoms are mostly empty space with energy and motion. But so our brain has something, it's called the reticular activating system. Okay. And so the job of this system is to filter information. And so we're exposed to millions of bits of information daily, right? But our brain only lets us take in what we think is important.
Yes.
And
so I was thinking about this actually.
Yeah. And so like what determines or what tells us what's important are our beliefs, our focus, just kind of our mindset. So if you believe like nothing works out for me, well, then you're going to find scenarios or things that make that statement true. And so it'll like literally filter and find evidence that says nothing works out for me. And so that's where like meditation, like mindset, like affirmations. So like daily affirmations, like to actually say these affirmations out loud to your brain, it starts to train your brain to look for different things.
Yeah, because your brain loves patterns. That's what it likes. It likes familiarity.
Yeah,
I'm saying that wrong. You know what I'm saying? So it likes that, and it likes pattern. And so, like she's saying, yeah, your brain is going to automatically look for those things and pick out those things. And so, if you are always in that negative mindset, you're always just going to see those negative things. It's all you're going to pick up on. But yeah, if you're able to retrain your brain and like get new habits essentially. So like we just finished reading a book like last month called Atomic Habits. If you haven't read it, highly suggest it. It essentially talks about habit stacking. So like if you want to become a person that meditates in the morning, right? But you feel like it's a lot of work, right? Like it doesn't feel like, but you're like, no, I need to do this for my mental health, right? Well, stack it with something that you like doing, right? Stack it with drinking your morning coffee. Right? Like that's what I started doing a couple months ago. And let me tell you, now I'm like, oh yeah, I get to like sit down with like my coffee and like, spend 20, 30 minutes doing whatever. Like stack stack it with something that you're already doing to help you integrate it better, right? To help interrupt like the negative thing. So instead of sitting there doom scrolling on my phone for 30 minutes, now I'm doing something that's positive, something that's going to raise my vibration.
Yep. Well, and I still like, so obviously we're in network marketing, and so we do spend time online, but I feel like my time spent online is not doom scrolling. Like I don't find myself just like scrolling to scroll. Do you know what I mean?
Yep.
And
it's
it
intentional.
feels
Yeah.
and it feels good to like, yeah, have it be intentional instead of just like random, I don't know.
Yeah. And like the thing with technology and like especially since TikTok, which don't get me wrong, I love TikTok, okay? But like it has our attention span so short. Like if you scroll to a video and it doesn't catch your attention in the first half a second, right? Like you're just going to keep going. Like it's constantly like triggering your brain to like want more stimulation, right? And that's not actually that good for you, because then like you pull yourself away from it and all of a sudden your brain's not stimulated so rapidly anymore. And now you're like, oh, everything's boring. This is boring. Life is boring, right? But like it's just because you were shoving so much stimulation in your brain that now it's like, right?
Right. Yeah. Well, and that's like, and I don't know, this is kind of off on a tangent too, but that's like the positive and the negative of technology is because like I feel like my kids a lot are like, oh, I'm bored. And I'm like, I think back to when I was a kid and I never told my parents I was bored because they would find something I didn't want to do. And so like we were always out like playing and doing stuff, and I don't know, it's just, and so it kind of sucks for kids this day and age just because like, I mean, it's not their fault that this is the world that we live in. It's just that they're not ever gonna really experience
it without.
Right.
Yeah. I totally get that. And like we try, of course, like before we had kids, we're like, we are never going to be those parents that like get a phone in the car or like at a restaurant. I'm sorry. If she's almost 4, but if she is throwing a shit fit and is screaming her head off in a restaurant and I'm like, I just want to eat my food.
Right.
She's probably gonna watch a show just for everyone's peace. Right. But like we try to, like, we go to the cabin a lot. We play outside a lot. Like there are certain times of the day that we do let her like have screen time and whatever. But like, I can tell a change in her mood when we don't have like any screen time, like when we're at the cabin and they're like
for a positive,
yes, because like when she is watching a show, right, like that's that constant stimulation, and then we pull her away from it, she's crabby, she's snippety, she's whatever, and like I can just tell, and then it also affects too like what type of information you're putting into your brain too, like on the technology. Right. So if it is something that is of a lower vibration, right? If you're watching and listening to things that are talking about, the lower vibrational stuff. So like drugs, alcohol, sex, all of the like murder documentaries and like whatever, like all of that is lowering your vibration, whether like, you might enjoy listening to it. It like makes you feel happy in the moment, but in reality, it is lowering your overall vibration. And like when it comes to the music stuff too, it actually has to do with like the actual tone of the music too, like the actual vibration of the music.
Frequency. Yep.
Yes. And like my husband kind of thought I was crazy the other day because he was in my office here is also like his little training area, for his half marathons. And he was listening to like some screamo, scary stuff. And I was like, I don't really like listening to that. Whatever. I went, I think I went outside or I did something. But then like the rest of the evening, it just felt like heavy in there. And I was like, I do not like that. Like, why does it feel this way? And then I was like, you know what? I think it has to do with like the music. And I mentioned it to him today after we'd like had this conversation about like, vibrations and stuff. And he actually listened to different music today. And now I don't feel like it doesn't feel weird in here anymore. I don't know.
Right. Isn't that's so crazy?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Well, and like too, like I have this sound app and you can listen to like these different like sounds.
Yeah.
Like, so like if you have a headache, certain sounds help to like relieve that headache. There's actually even stuff that goes as deep as like, any like maybe childhood trauma, some other stuff, that just all these different frequencies that target different things, and it's healing.
Yeah. And then that, okay, so also when you're talking about like the trauma thing of it, right? So this also, like, everything is interconnected. Okay. So let's for trauma, let's say, okay, anytime that a person experiences something, right, that is shocking to your system, that puts you into fight or flight, right, it causes all the muscles in your body to contract, right? Because that is like its response. So your hips, for example, causes your hips and your pelvis to contract. All right. You've probably heard the saying, right? Trauma is stored in your hips. If you can release your hip muscles, you release your trauma, like blah, blah, blah. Well, there's actually some like proof behind that, because, okay, you experience fight or flight, you get tight. When you get tight, your fascia in your body starts to adhere to those muscles, to those tendons, right? And it actually makes your pelvis muscles stuck like that, stuck tight. When they're tight, they're pushing on your nerves, they're pushing on your vessels. It's literally making your body stay in fight or flight. Okay. So when you're in fight or flight, what's going to happen? You're going to be irritable. You're not going to sleep well. You're not going to eat well. Like, you're just on edge all the time. So learning how to release the fascia in your hips, there's tons of videos out there, YouTube, TikTok, whatever, to learn how to do it. When you release that, your body feels more relaxed. Okay. Well, then we can take it to that mind, body, spirit. Okay. The different chakras, right? So there's different chakras throughout your whole body. I think there's like 6, there might be more, whatever. I'm not a scientist, but like, here are your different chakras. Okay. So the one at the very bottom is your root chakra. Okay. This is energy, stability, comfort, safety, right? So when you're able to like have a stable and an activated chakra in your root chakra, you're going to be more relaxed, right? You're going to be in more control. You're not going to be in fight or flight. Well, that seems pretty connected, doesn't it? Right? And, it just all, it is connected. And then we could go to like the psychological part of it, where you are in that triangle, right? You have that attachment style. And so, okay, my daughter's not getting in the car. Boom, it's triggering me to I'm not loved. Well, then that puts me in fight or flight. So if I can learn how to disrupt that attachment style, and I can learn how to catch myself before being triggered, I can prevent myself from going into fight or flight. I can prevent myself from having that happen. If it does, I now know how to release my hips. I can meditate and focus on that root chakra to try to prevent it from happening. Like, it all just kind of like connects, no matter which angle you want to look at it,
Yeah. No, and like with the chakras, there's a lot involved with that too. And, it even connects to like your human design.
Yes.
And it's just so crazy because they're like 2 different things, right?
Mm-hmm.
But like there's certain foods that are good for like different parts of your, or different chakras or whatever. So yoga actually, correlates very closely with your chakras. So there's like certain yoga poses that you can do that helps each of your chakras to like balance it out. And I don't know. I just think it's really cool, all of it. And like I said, whether you believe in it or don't believe in it, like I used to be one of those people that was like, daily affirmations, like I'm going to sit here and say stupid stuff to myself, that just seems weird. But then you do it and you realize that it's not stupid. It actually works. And, I don't know.
Yeah, it really honestly does. And like, just stopping your negative thought patterns is like what it's doing. It's disrupting those. And instead of focusing on the positive, you're going to focus on instead of focusing on the negative, you're going to focus on the positive. And so like in business, in life, a lot of the times we block ourselves with a negative money mindset, right? Of like, there's always another bill coming. Everything costs so much money. Gas is so expensive. I can never get ahead. Like those are all negative things. Like that every time you get paid, then you're just thinking about how much money you're gonna have to spend out of that. Like that doesn't make you happy. It doesn't make you feel fulfilled. And like
Mhm.
if we're able to try to work on that and switch your mindset to more positive, like I am so thankful that I have the money to pay this bill. Like I am so thankful that I didn't have to put this on the credit card this month or things like that. Like instead of saying the negative things to yourself, you say the positive version of that. You're going to change your money mindset.
Mhm.
And another thing that we really like have worked on too is increasing your energetic minimums and your energetic maximums when it comes to money. So your minimum, that is going to be like the lowest amount of money you can ever imagine in your bank account. Like you're like, I will never let myself go, into the hole. I will always have at least $200 in there or at least $1,000, right? So like that's your minimum, right? Like every single month you're going to get this much money in your account from work and then you're going to spend this much on bills and like it's never going to go below that 1,000. And then your maximum is like the most amount of money you can hold, like the most amount of money you've ever had in there, right? And it never seems to go above that. And so working on changing those, working on not being scared of having more money, right? Like instead of being like, oh, I can never imagine that. Be like, oh yeah. What would it feel like if I always had $15,000 in my account? Like what would that feel like? What would that do for me?
Well,
You
and
know?
also to change, because they say that our our outlook or our money thoughts
Mhm.
are created when we're like 8
Children.
years old.
Yes. Yep.
And so like if money was like a stressor in your household, um more than likely you have a lot of stress around money. Whether you have money or don't have money, you are going to be stressed around money. Another thing is too is like, I remember growing up and hearing like how, you know, basically like if you have money, you're not a good person because,
Mhm.
money is evil and people who have money are evil. And so I've had to really change my mind around that thought because money doesn't have that kind of power.
No, it doesn't. But it's depicted in movies when we're children. Think about it. All the
Yep.
movies, the rich people, they're snobs, right? The rich
Yep.
ladies, they're snobs. The poor people, right? What's the one where she Pretty Woman, right?
Oh, yep.
Think of that one, right? So she goes to the rich neighborhood, everyone's rude, right? So she has no money and she's like the super nice woman. Like in any movie that you watch as a child and even as an adult now, like that is how they're depicted. So that is ingrained in our mind. But you know what? The women that I've met in this business that make so much money, like the women that have literally made $400,000 in the last like 18 months, right? The first thing that they did whenever I met them in California was give me a hug. Like,
Right.
I'm so glad that you're here. And they gave me a hug. We
Yep.
sat down and we talked about our birth stories and like actually had real personal conversations. Like just because people have money does not mean that they aren't good people. Like if
Right.
you're a good person before money, you're going to be a good person after money. Like
Yep.
if you're a bad person before, you're going to be a bad person after. Like
Yep.
like she said, it's not the money, it's you.
Yep.
Mhm.
Yeah. And so, yeah, I just think that like, and that's a money block that like people don't even realize. Like,
Yeah, exactly.
like you said, and you don't even, if you now sit and look, because we've mentioned it about like it being in movies, you're
Mhm.
going to see it now.
Yep.
Um, and it's not something that you thought. I never thought about it before.
Mhm.
But so I think it's kind of like it's one of those unconscious things
Mhm.
because I remember starting and thinking, well, I don't have any money blocks. Like I like
Mhm.
money. I want money. Money's good. And
Mhm.
I can say that, but I can also have like unconscious because like one of my things too with this business is I was like, okay, I'm scared. I'm scared to like bring on business partners because like what if I can't be the leader that they need? What if,
Mhm.
you know, and so again, like
Mhm.
all these
Blocking
fears,
yourself. Yeah.
yeah. And so I just believe that then I've had to do all this like internal work and, you know, work through these things
Mhm.
so that I can help other people because that is the goal is I want to help people.
Mhm.
Um, and yeah, so, I
Yeah.
mean, you can have blocks and mind and not even realize it. Like I said, it's
Mhm.
something that you have to sit down and work through. And I think that's one of the biggest things too, is because people don't, it's hard. It's hard to sit down and have to look at yourself and
Mhm.
realize like where you're lacking,
Mhm.
where you need to get better, and just, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
that's not an easy thing to do.
Mm-mm.
But with that comes so much like growth.
Mhm. It really does. Whenever I first started working through my blocks, I think that Jordan purchased this course as well. It's called Becoming Rich, and they also have a course. It's called like Becoming Her. It's totally worth the money, you guys. It is literally totally worth the money. Um, and so the very beginning, the very first course video, whatever the introduction, right? I literally listened to that every single day for a couple of weeks, and when I listened to it, I cried. I literally cried because there's a part in it where she says something along the lines of like, "I want you to like let go of your worries and your like thoughts around money and like let it go. Like it's not your fault." And like let go of whatever's holding you back. And I just would like, oh, and cry, and it made me realize like, yeah, how many blocks I had internally that I had no idea about. Things that were
Mhm.
literally holding me back. And when I started doing that and working through those blocks was the first time that I exceeded my like energetic maximum, right? I actually exceeded it and was like, "Oh my gosh, like this is the most amazing thing ever, whatever, whatever, whatever." A couple months went by and life happens, you get whatever. I got in a rut and I quit. I quit doing the work. I quit doing the inner work. And January, February were kind of like ugh for me. Like really, like I wasn't making the money that I wanted to make. I wasn't feeling like the person I wanted to be. And then the end of February came and I was like, you know what? No, I need to get back into this. I need to start doing the work again because I don't like to feel like crap. And so I started going back to therapy, started doing my inner work with my like courses that I purchased and like doing the meditation work. And it's not even the end of the month yet. Okay. And I looked at our account yesterday and we've already exceeded I say our because I'm married, but like we've exceeded our energetic maximum by $66 right now.
That's
Like
awesome.
literally the fact that I can in my mind be like, okay, I want us to hold this much money, and then like actually see it happen, like, like
Right.
it feels so good. So like it might sound weird and sound crazy to like do the inner work, but do the inner work.
Yeah.
Do it.
Yeah.
Like it feels good.
It does feel good. And like, yeah, I don't even know. It's like, it's changed me. And
Yes.
you want to know what's so crazy too is so I've been doing the inner work and, you know, okay, so my boyfriend, he's not perfect by any means. He's a human, right?
Yeah.
And, but I feel like by me doing the inner work and changing my outlook and perspective, and then even just like, you know, practicing it,
Yeah.
it has like, it's like wearing off on him. So
Mhm.
it's like he's not even doing the inner work,
Mhm.
but you can see the change in him
Just
just
based on the change in you. Mhm.
right. And like, because then, you know what I mean? Like, we start talking about these things and doing these things, and it it wears off on them. And that's why it's so crazy too, is because they say that you are like you are who you hang out with. And that's why you need to put yourself in like different rooms, like rooms with the people you want to be like. And that was another thing too, is like before starting this business, it was like, oh my gosh, to make $10,000-$20,000 a month, like people don't do that. Well, that's because I don't surround myself with people who are making $10,000 to $20,000 a month. And now I surround myself with people who are making way more than that.
Exactly. Like, and I can't remember exactly the percentages because I'm not a scientist, you guys. But it's literally, there's been studies done on like, if you put yourself in a room with high achievers, your rate at which you apply yourself increases by X amount. If you put yourself in a room with low achievers, your rate decreases. Like, put yourself in a room with smokers, you're going to become a smoker. Put yourself in a room with millionaires, you're going to be a millionaire. Like, and it's not just, I mean, yes, it's the energy, it's the like they're achieving, you want to achieve, the goals are higher, right? They set higher goals and they shoot for the stars, you know? And so then you're going to be like, yes, I want to do that too. But it also opens other doors for you, right? You meet people that you never would have met, right? Like when we went to California, I met a person who, like just by talking with them, I met a person, complimented the shoes that they were wearing, and you know, whatever, had a conversation. And now I'm literally talking business with them in the DMs, and they close multi-million-dollar sales every month. Like that is literally what they do, is they merge multi-million-dollar companies together. And I'm talking business with them. Like what? Like, like it's all who you put yourself around with. Like if you talk with someone, like I met a lady at the pool in California too. And she's like, oh no, my husband and I just have like a timeshare here, da, 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 da. And she's like, we don't own a private jet, but you know, my husband's friend does. So we fly on a private jet to here and there and wherever. And she literally said the words, like, it's not who you are, it's who you know. You know, like it doesn't, like maybe you don't have a private jet, but you know someone with a private jet. Well, guess what? You get the perks of a private jet without having to pay for it. Like, if you put yourself in those rooms, you're going to achieve higher goals and whatever, in whatever aspect it is. Like even if it's not that you want to make money, maybe it's that you want to be an amazing gardener, right? Well, you're not going to become an amazing gardener if you're, you know, at the bar. Like, probably not where you're going to become a gardener. Maybe if you go to a gardening expo, if you go to the nursery all the time, like if you're putting yourself in areas with people that are amazing gardeners, you're going to become an amazing gardener. Like, it's same, but a different, you know, different things.
Well, and then you have, you know, if you go to the bar and you want to talk about gardening, people are going to look at you like you're crazy. They don't want to talk about gardening. So to put yourself in places where, you know, people have the same, you know, wants and desires as you. And that doesn't mean that like I'm saying, oh, don't go to the bar and don't converse with anyone who's, you know, out of your circle, because, you know, I like to talk to all sorts of people, but I'm also just like, what we're saying is that, like, you know, put yourself in those positions that make you see the possibilities that can, you know, because, and that's another thing too, is what our mentors say is like, don't take advice from anybody who doesn't have the bank account that you want. Because so many people want to sit and like be like, oh, what are you doing? You invested in this high ticket business and it's a scam and whatever. And it's like, well, what do you even know about it? So I don't really care what you think. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know.
Exactly. So like if you want to, let's say you want to be able to make 10K a month, right? Who are you going to ask for advice? Are you going to ask the homeless man at the end of the street? Or are you going to ask the person that's making $50,000 a month? Like, okay, how do I get going? How do I get started? What do I do? Yeah, you're probably going to ask the person who's actually making the money. And that goes with anything in life. Any goal that you have, you're not going to talk. Like if you want to become an Olympic athlete, you're not going to talk to your gym teacher from elementary school. right?
Right.
No, you're gonna reach out and you're gonna talk to someone who is either training for the Olympics or has been in the Olympics, or you're gonna talk to like a college coach who like helps recruit people for whatever. Like you're gonna talk to someone who knows how to do it, not somebody who has no clue. And I
Right.
heard this quote the other day, and it was something like, don't take criticism from people you wouldn't take like advice from, if that makes sense, or like that
Yep.
you wouldn't ask
Yep.
for advice. And so like for example, Jordan was saying like a lot of people criticize the fact that we started our own businesses, especially since it's online and it's not a brick and mortar, right? So they're like, well, why would you do that? That is not a good investment, da da da. Guess what? When I got my taxes done, literally just a couple days ago, our CPA was so impressed. He was genuinely excited for us.
That's so awesome.
He gave us such good advice. I literally have a whole notepad written down of things, and he's like, nope, you need to make sure you do this and this and this for your business, and da 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 da. Like he was genuinely excited because he saw the numbers and he saw like the possibility of like where this business can get. He's like, okay, now next year when you come back, we are actually going to switch and we're going to focus on doing X, Y, and Z, next year. And like talk to people and take advice from people who want to see you succeed, not from the people that are telling you that it's a bad idea and it's a bad investment. How do they know? They don't
Right.
know.
Right.
Like,
well, and that's like there was some group online or whatever, and they were talking about how like the business that we're in, it's a scam because you shouldn't have to put up an investment up front. Like that's not how businesses work. And I was like,
yeah,
apparently you don't have your own business, because like my boyfriend has a brick and mortar business, and we have had to put multiple thousands of, tens of thousands of dollars up to make it grow. And so I don't know. I was just like, I was so like caught off. I was like, what are you even talking about? Like,
yes. And that's okay. And so this is another thing too, right? The investment into this business, when you invest into a business, that is a tax write-off. Okay. That is a tax write-off. So I'm going to be upfront and honest right here with the money. I put in about $16,500 to start this business. Okay. Not money out of my pocket, right? It was a zero down loan. Okay. And I paid zero money out of my pocket for this business. The monthly payments paid for by my business. Okay. So that $16,500 is a tax write-off. Okay. And the products that I bought when I started this business, because you have to buy the product to get your distributor IDs. Okay. Those products last between 30 and 50 years. 30 and 50 years, right? So whenever we were doing our taxes and putting that in as a tax write-off, he said, you know what? We can actually split this and we can do this we can do it for like 5 years. Right? So we'll give you like 5,000, towards your business this year, 5,000, next year. And like it went down or whatever per the years, but like that's beneficial, right? Yeah. Like it's not just throwing money into the air. No, it is literally investing it into a business. It is investing into yourself, into your future, into your health, because these products are freaking amazing. Okay. That's a whole nother thing, right? If you want to learn more about the product, like reach out to us, whatever, it's a whole separate thing. But like, it is literally, and then also, investing into yourself, investing into your mindset, investing into the training, right? Because without our training and our mentorship, I would have no freaking idea what I would be doing. Not a clue, right? And like when I went to the convention in California, our team that was there, okay, we have made, we've made like $70 million in sales in like the last 3.5, 4 years, something like that, right? The other people that are there have been doing the business for like 13 years, 15 years, right? And the women in our team have literally collapsed the timeline on making money. How? How did they do that? Through mentorship, literally through teaching, through one-on-one mentorship, right? How to do it. Like that is where the success comes from in our team. And like that is so beneficial, because not only are the skills that we're learning in this business good for this, it's good for everything else in your life too. Right. Literally, any other sales job you want to get, literally any other job anywhere that you're going to get, because you're getting like personal development, right? You're getting negotiation skills. You're getting just communicating, how to be a leader, right?
Yeah.
Like this is more than just like how to close a sale. It's more than just a close. It is
Yeah.
literally like whole like personal change in yourself.
Right.
Like, so even if you don't care about the product and you just want to make money, sure, great. Right? Even if you just care about the product and that's all that you care about, and like, sure, if you make money, great. Sure. But
Yeah,
like either way, you're going to benefit from this financially, physically, health-wise, emotionally, mentally. Like it will better you as a person as long as you are willing to change. And that's a whole other part of the vibration thing too, is you have to be willing and accepting to change.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you're not, you can do all that work, all the meditating that you want, but if you don't believe that you can change, if you don't want to change, you're not going to.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, and you know, so with our products, so I have to say, okay, so I used to get migraines really bad. And I actually didn't, this was something that I hadn't even noticed. But once I started drinking this water, apparently my migraines went away. Well, the reason why I noticed that they came back is because, so we're remodeling our kitchen and I don't have my water machine set up because I don't have a place for it. And so I've just had to drink like our regular well water. I have had almost daily like headaches and probably weekly migraines. And so I'm just like, I cannot wait to get our sink and everything set up so I can put my water machine back up because like I love it. And so right there, it's just like, I don't even know, you know?
Yeah. And like minimal things that like I've noticed in my life too. I used to have really bad like pain in my knuckles and my joints. Like I'd wake up in the morning and my hands would just feel like in all these joints. And what was that from? I have no idea. Probably from being on my phone all the time or like typing. I have no idea. I have not had that at all.
That's
like
awesome.
literally months of like not having that. And I didn't even really notice it till like recently, because like you said, like you don't notice until like it's coming back, right? So like when we've gone on trips and stuff, like I will literally fill jugs of water and like bring with me, but like when the water's gone, you drink the other water, whatever. And then like we're doing an experiment with our dogs too. And so I don't dare give them a different pH of water. So this is just like filtered water, essentially. Like it's getting all the chemicals out of the water, 7.0 pH. But our dog Brooke, she's like 8 years old. She's big, like black lab, German short hair, whatever. She puts on a lot of miles every day. Like we live on 6 acres. She's out there. She's just chasing birds all day long, right? Well, last year we started to know she had a lot of joint pain. Like to get up on the couch at the end of the day, she'd be like, oh, like just, and every night she just whine and whine. We're like, what is your problem? Well, I'm sure she hurt, right? And so Nick asked the vet about it, and they're like, well, she could lose a little bit of weight, would be helpful. You know, you can give her like essentially dog aspirin. You can like buy that over the counter, whatever. And so we tried that for a little bit, and it would make her sick because she wouldn't want to like eat her food after we gave it to her. Because like we'll give it with food, right? So if we gave it to her before she ate her food, she wouldn't eat her food, and then she, get sick. She'd be throwing up bile. Well, then if we gave it to her after her food, she would get sick again and just throw up the food. So it was kind of like, okay, I think the meds are messing with her. So quit doing that. But then I'm like, what if we give her the water? What if instead of just giving her regular tap water, we give her the water? And I asked Nick just the other day, I was like, wait a minute, have you noticed a change? And he's like, yeah, she's no longer like groaning to get on the couch. Like it's
That's
literally,
awesome.
it's wild. And I'm like, well, maybe it's because like the weather is getting nicer. But I mean, like, yes and no. Like it's still cold out. It's still windy. It's probably, every week or so we're still getting to like only 10 degrees. Like it's still cold.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I think it's helping her feel better. And so like if just drinking water without chemicals in it is helping her, like what do you think it's doing for like our bodies? You know what I'm saying? Like on such a level that we can't even see.
Well, and even just like, I don't know. So I've never been a water drinker. It's hard for me just to like drink plain water. But when our water machine is hooked up and I can drink water. Like I drink the water. And now like I think I've had this water jug. I don't even think I've finished a whole water jug because I don't like the water that I'm drinking out of it right now.
Well,
Because
it doesn't make you feel as good. And that's
No.
something that like is hard to explain until you experience it.
yeah.
Like it just makes you feel overall better, overall more hydrated. And so my husband did not start drinking the water. Like he was like, this water thing is stupid. Like that is not anything, whatever. He's probably only been drinking it for maybe two solid months consistently. Before that, like rarely. And he literally states that he feels different. He's like, it just makes me feel more hydrated. Or like he has always been a horrible water drinker also. And he runs a lot. And so like today when he was running, he's like, oh my gosh, like it's gotta be the water that's like making me feel this way. Like I actually like have to go, like he actually has to stop and pee when he's running. Whereas before, like he could run, 15 miles and not feel like you'd have to pee, which is a sign that you're dehydrated, by the way.
Right.
And so like he had to stop and like actually go to the bathroom. He's like, it's got to be the water. I'm like, totally is. Right. And that's because it is molecularly different. Okay. It changes the molecular structure of the water and allows it to actually hydrate into the cell instead of just being like within the body. Like it actually allows it to cross that membrane and get in the cell. And they actually have, like, if you can Google it, they actually have like videos of water that has been like, I think it was like water after drinking only a cup of coffee in the morning. And it's like, they take a blood sample and they look at your like red blood cells and what they look like. Then there's if you drink like regular tap water, what your blood cells look like. And then if you drink the glass of the like 8.5 electrolyzed alkaline water, and like the difference in the movement of the cells. So the coffee, they're like sluggish, like we're moving around, right? The regular water, they're moving around a little bit faster, but like not a whole lot. The electrolyzed alkaline water, they're like moving around. You can tell that they're fuller looking. They're more round. The color is different. And like it was wild that like, okay, we're like, I was actually like seeing it. You can just Google it. And I'm sure you could find the video, but it's amazing.
That's pretty cool. Well, and another thing too that I've also noticed, like the difference with the water is like, so if I drink like just regular water, I like drink it and I feel full.
Yes, like bloated.
Yeah, and so like almost like waterlogged. And then it's like if you drink like the 8.5, like I feel like I just like can drink and like it makes me feel good, but I don't feel like full.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. And like, now this is really gross. And like, I don't even know if I want to, okay, whatever. I'm going to say it anyways, because I don't think I have where I work on here, but okay. So whenever I work in the ER and I drink out of like their water machine, right? Like the ice thing, right? So I did that for almost a full year. I would drink water out of that, right? And if I was there for like only a day or two, like I'd be fine. But if I worked like multiple days in a row, I would get a gut ache. And I was like, what is up with this? Like every time I'm here, I just get like this horrible gut ache. Like what? And then I switched and I started bringing my water from home, my water from my machine from home. I'd bring multiple like huge jugs with me and keep at work. No longer get a gut ache.
What the heck?
No longer get a gut ache. But if you've ever like looked into like those types of water ice machines, if they're not cleaned regularly, which I don't know if it is not, like that's not my job, right? That's somebody else's job. But like it's probably full of mold. You know what I'm saying? And like if you go to like even an airport or anywhere and they have like those bottled water refill stations, guarantee you that if you like went up in those tubes, there's mold. Because what happens whenever water is like, when things are wet all the time? Mold and algae grow, right? Like, oh, well, no, it's treated water. Yeah, treated with chemicals. So that's another thing. Which another cool thing about the water too. So when I went to California, a bunch of the women brought water with them because the water is actually medical grade and you can just bring it through TSA.
That's so cool.
They literally just take it and they put their little strips in it and then you get to take it through.
That's crazy. I haven't done that yet.
I didn't do it either, and I wish that I would have. And also, when we were in California, the people that like are bougie, okay, and like whatever, literally brought their machines with them. literally,
I've heard of that.
there's a guy, okay, I can't remember what his name is. Whatever. Anyways, he's like a multimillionaire, whatever. There, he literally put it in his hotel room. And then there's another girl too, who she is. I can't remember what her name is, but she has an amazing story. Let me see if I can find her. So I met her in California.
It's not Tam, is it?
Hmm?
Is it Tam? No.
The person that I met, or the guy with the water machine?
No, the girl. I don't. She was there, and I just think she's cool.
I'm trying to get on Instagram here to find her name. Da, 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 da. There's got to be a faster way. I'm like the least techie person out there. Okay, maybe I think I messaged her. Hold on, that'd be a faster way. Oh no, her name is Jenna. Okay, so Jenna's story is literally crazy because she had, what was it? Is it lupus? Okay, so in her like teenage years and early adulthood, she suffered with severe acid reflux, gastritis, lupus, and fibromyalgia, and like literally was so freaking sick and in and out of the hospital. So she also brought her machine with her because she's like, I like literally cannot drink other water. So after like less than a year of drinking this water, this is her Instagram. Yeah. So anyways, if you're interested, that's her Instagram, and she's got her story pinned at the top there. Okay. But it literally like changed her flippin' life. Like literally. Literally changed her life. Because yeah, here she has a dentist found my problem. I was diagnosed with lupus, fibromyalgia, and gastritis. She said 7 years. She spent 7 years suffering with it. 5 major surgeries. She started to do her own research, and she found the water. Okay. So she said, hold on. She found the water. She said no for 8 months until she couldn't handle the pain anymore and being in the hospital. And then she finally decided to invest into the water machine, and she started to feel better right away. So she didn't even join for the business part of it initially. She only started for the health benefits. And literally when she made that change, here she has it. She went into remission within 3 months of drinking the water. 3 months.
Wow. What is her? It's Jenna?
Jenna Torres, Etorrez.
What's her profile picture?
It's this pink. She's a brunette in pink.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. And like that is only one of the thousands of stories of like the physical change that can happen just with changing your water. Like there is a documentary out there. And what is it called? I just watched it. Let me see if I can find it. It literally was such a good documentary. And it like literally broke down everything. Gosh, what was it? It was the one that they like sent us oh yeah. Oh no, that's testimonial. Drowning in Sickness is what it's called. Drowning in Sickness.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. And
I haven't got to watch that yet.
Yeah. And so I think here's the deal. People copyright stuff all the time. Okay. Like literally copyright stuff all the time, or like, no, not copyright it. Plagiarize it is what I mean. People plagiarize stuff all the time. So people had literally stolen this woman's documentary that she spent her time and her money and whatever making. And they were like, publishing it and selling it as their own, like pretending. So now it's like really strict. Like you have to, like you can find her website, Drowning in Sickness, and then you essentially reserve your ticket, and she only like will release X amount of time to like certain people. So like you might be on a wait list for a little bit or something like that. But it's all because people were like plagiarizing and stuff, because I'd seen part of it and I didn't know that it was like plagiarized or whatever. And then when I went to this conference, I got to meet her, and she like played her documentary and stuff. And I was like, oh wait, like first she said, who's already seen this? And like a bunch of us raised our hands, and she was like, no, like that's people have like stolen it. Like that is not the original. Like this is the original. And she played it. And let me tell you, I cried. And it starts out something, don't remember the details, but like her daughter was very, very sick. Like her muscles were cramping up, and like she was little, like 6 or something. They were in the hospital all the time and they didn't know what to do. And then she found this water and started treating her family with this water, and literally saw changes like within just a couple months. And then she like started introducing it to other people's lives, and she's got so many testimonials in there and just like heartwarming stories. Yeah, it's really good.
Well, I cannot wait to watch it.
I know, it was good. It was really good. But yeah, I can show if people, I don't know, is it backwards or is it the right way for you guys?
That's the right way.
But like drowning in sickness, and like this is what her website looks like, and you just reserve your ticket.
Okay.
Yeah, it's really good. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Huh. Cool.
I know. I kind of want to once. So we have a cabin, and we don't have water in it right now. Like we have to have a well drilled and everything. But when we do, I kind of want to get a second machine and put in there.
Right.
You know, like, because like if you if you go to I think it's ewg.org or whatever, you can like type in the different, like, what is it called? My brain is so tired right now. You could type in your different zip code, and it'll tell you like what was in the most recent water like samples. And so I should just look it up right now. EWG for what the cabin is. So like where I'm from northern Minnesota, like Warroad, Baudette area. And the Warroad area has such high levels of arsenic in it. It's like insane, like 100,000 times the amount that is like safe for your body or whatever they say.
There's also an app. It's called Healthy Living by EWG. It's a free app.
Oh, I should get that. Just every time I go somewhere, look up
you can scan items.
Oh, you know what? I think I follow them on Instagram, actually. I think they have a thing there. Okay.
Yeah. So you can scan like barcodes and like whatever. And so then you can see like the product and just like how.
Oh yeah, how clean of a product it is. I have seen that. Like they'll do like their most recent tests of like how much plastic is in it or like whatever. Yeah. 56470. Oh, you bugger. Don't do that. Okay. Typing in the zip code.
It kind of like looks like this. So like see how it's like green?
Mm-hmm. Means that they're good, I'm assuming.
Yep. And then it gets to, because it rates it like A, B. So then then you have like orange. And if you like click on the actual product, then it tells you like the health concerns, like specifically. So like skin and allergy, irritation.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, so it's really cool. Like I have looked up some of my stuff, and
yeah, I think it is good. Like we think because we live in like America, right, that everything is good, right? Like, oh, they wouldn't give us anything bad because they're always saying like, oh, don't buy stuff from China, it has lead in it. Don't buy this from wherever, it's contaminated. We're literally being contaminated where we live, right? Like if you look up the legal amount of like bug particles or like rat feces that's allowed to be in your products, you'd be shocked. You'd be shocked. Like my husband works at American Crystal Sugar, right? They make the sugar that you buy in the bag, right? That has like the it's blue. It has like blue and like the little red and white logo, right? Like he works at a factory that makes sugars. And if you, like he's told me before, I don't remember the percentages, but yeah, they're legally allowed to have X amount like percentage of like not sugar in it. It's like,
Mm-hmm.
what? That is just scary.
I know.
Literally terrifying.
Well, and oh, what was I just gonna say? Oh my gosh.
Okay, why?
Brain-
Okay, here we go. 56740. Is that it? 5.
Oh, I was gonna say, okay, so I follow these two guys on Instagram or maybe Facebook, but it's like Josh and Jace. They're from the UK
Mm-hmm.
and they came over to the United States, and oh my gosh, they're so hilarious. First of all, I think they're brothers, but I'm not sure. But so they came over here and they show like videos of them like trying different foods and like doing all these different things that they don't do over there. And they actually took their weight prior to coming here, and then like I don't know, a few weeks or whatever, or a month after being here, and they each gained like 10 to 15 pounds
Mm-hmm.
from eating all this food. Because like, okay, so pop is a big one that they don't have over there. Little Debbie snacks, lots of our cereals.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, there's just so many different things that like we do here and that we are allowed to like eat and drink here that they don't allow anywhere else. Ranch.
Mm-hmm.
They never have had ranch. So, and that was like one of the things too, was like when they went back home, they were saying how like now their food over there tastes so bland because over here in the United States, we like over season everything. And it's just like, that is so crazy.
Yeah, like I've seen the amount of videos that I've seen of people like going to a different country, like going abroad, right? And they'll be like, what do they name them? They're usually like, oh, the Italian effect, or like, oh, the Australian effect, or like, oh, the whatever. Like essentially like they're leaving our country and they're going to a different country, and then like they'll take like a picture of themselves or a short video of themselves every single day while they're there, and to like watch their appearance change, right? And so like the bloating in their face go away, the skin changes, the hair changes, the, you know, like everything about them is like changing. And a lot of it is because they eat a lot healthier in other countries. And there's a lot of reasons, like the United States is so large, and like for us, for example, like we can't grow fresh fruits and vegetables in the winter time up where we are. So it has to be shipped from somewhere else. So in order for them to like have enough produce to ship everywhere, they are using fertilizers on it, and they're using chemicals, and they're like trying to make it grow faster and genetically modifying it so they can ship it to us. Like there's a whole bunch of things, right, that go into it that other countries don't, right? They just grow their fresh strawberries across the city and then bring them to the market, and then you're eating a strawberry that was, you know, grown organically, naturally, and was just picked 2 days ago, and now you're eating it.
Yeah.
But like it's so different. And like you were talking to with the processed foods, the cereal, the Little Debbie's, like whatever. Like here, that's so normal to have in your household. Over in Italy, I bet you they would laugh at you if you had a processed pastry in your, you know, because what do they have? They have fresh bakeries that they go to, right?
Yep.
They make everything homemade otherwise. Like,
well, and it's just like here, I mean, I don't even know, like, you know, oh, we're taught that like carbs are bad, and so like to stay away from carbs, but it's like carbs aren't bad. I think that, you know what I mean? So like, oh, the
carbs that we're eating is what's
right.
bad. Like
so over there, they have like homemade pastries. Well, those are carbs, but I bet you they can eat them no problem. And same with like, I know now that there's like some research coming out on like how we should not be drinking like low fat skim milk. You should be just drinking, you know what I mean? And like just eating the regular things, because you get things like low fat, Diet Coke. And there's just a lot of additives and stuff in there that
The things that are
make it,
zero sugar, you know, the
yeah,
artificial sweeteners, I can't handle those. You know, they give me a horrible gut ache. Like just
yep,
earlier today, my husband was like, "Hey, you should try this new electrolyte powder stuff, whatever that he drinks." And I says, "No, I already know what it's going to taste like." He's like, "Well, how do you know?" I'm like, "Well, is it zero sugar?" He's like, "Well, yeah." I'm like, "It's going to have stevia in it, and I cannot handle stevia. It literally
right,
upsets my gut so bad." And it's
yep,
like, which I know it's like from a plant, it's from a leaf, but like it's there's something about it that is not, it doesn't sit well in my stomach.
right. Well, there still has to be some sort of an additive in it. I
Oh,
just,
100%. Because
you
it'll
know,
be like sweetened with this and other artificial flavors or like whatever or other
yep.
natural flavors. Well, there's no legal term or like definition of what natural is. They're just allowed to use it.
Well, see, and that's the thing too, is that like, over here in the United States, so there's so many options. Like when we went to Mexico, like, okay, you can get like chips, okay, like bags of chips, but they only have like a few different things to choose from. You go to ours, like a store here, and there's like hundreds.
Mm-hmm.
And and then you're supposed to like read the labels because I mean, they can have
Mm-hmm.
something in the ingredient that says something and it sounds like I probably don't want to have it in my body, but
Mm-hmm.
like I don't know what that means because like you said, we're not scientists.
Mm-hmm.
And so who has the time to sit and like look all that up? And then not to mention too, like you can go and see something on the shelf that says, "Oh, it's organic."
Mm-hmm.
Organic does not mean chemical free.
Nope, they still use pesticides. Mhm.
Yep.
Still
It has to be under
a
a
certain
certain amount
Mhm.
that makes it like organic, but it doesn't mean
Mm-mm.
like chemical
No.
free.
And like here's the thing too, right? So like we live in North Dakota. If you're not familiar with North Dakota, there are like no trees, right?
Mm,
And so we own 6 acres and there is a little bit of trees on 2 sides of us, okay? The rest of it is open field. We are surrounded by fields, right? Farmers' fields. They grow soybeans, they grow corn, right? They spray those, right, with chemicals. And like I have a garden and I don't use Roundup on my garden. That was something I was very much like, I'm not doing that. I don't want the chemicals in my body, very much like whatever, right? And then the first year we lived here, what are they freaking driving by with their big sprayer, blowing the chemicals? Like literally right in my face, essentially. Like I'm like,
Did
I
it
can
kill
be,
any of your stuff?
what was that?
Did it kill any of your stuff?
No, I mean, because it goes
Oh,
on their field, but like you can smell it in the air. You know what I'm
right.
saying? Like you can smell it. And it really like sunk in. It was like, okay, I can try to be like as healthy as I want, but like this world is like literally we're being drenched in chemicals. And those
Yeah.
chemicals are seeping into the ground and we're breathing them. They're in our water, they're in the air, they're in everything.
Yeah.
And like we wonder why there's so much more cancer. And people
Mhm.
can say like, oh, well, it's because it's being found more because we have more medical research. Sure, sure. But
That's
also
part of it.
that's part of it, but also like we're being exposed, like these chemicals are new in the last 100 years,
Oh yeah.
right? Like there was some back then, but there's a lot more now. We're using them at a very larger scale now.
I think even just honestly, like in the last 40 years,
Mhm.
because like talking to my parents, like a lot of this stuff wasn't even in like the early 80s. I was born in 86,
Mhm.
you know? So I want to say it was probably like late 70s, early 80s is when it all just kind of really
Mhm.
changed.
Well, I mean, like you see all the commercials now too that are like, if you have mesothelioma and you were exposed to Roundup or whatever, well, every single farmer uses Roundup. Roundup was in pretty much every single home for 20, 40 years.
Mhm.
Like, yeah, it's just
Well,
crazy.
and it's still, and that's the thing too, is like even with like, corn and soybeans and all the things, like it has to be genetically engineered
Mhm.
and use chemicals in order to produce enough to feed everyone in this world.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like,
And like it's affecting. So like the soybeans that are grown around me, right? The soybeans and the corn, they are not for human consumption, right?
right.
They are for animal consumption so that we consume the animals, right?
Yeah.
And like it is so crazy that like it's going through all these different steps, right? But like we're still being affected by the chemicals in the end, right?
Mhm.
Like you're so worried about like, oh, we don't want antibiotics in our chickens. Okay, but the feed that the chickens are eating was chemically modified and then sprayed with chemicals and then stored with chemicals and chemical. Like it's all chemicals.
Oh, I have to tell you something that's like so crazy since we talk about animals and stuff. So I was listening to the radio the other day, and did you know that they have done a study on sharks by the Bahamas, and they have tested positive for cocaine? Right? Ibuprofen and some other like painkiller. But you know what that tells me? It's in the water.
Yeah, because there's a bunch of drug dealers that are probably like, who knows, over like they're losing their stuff into the water, and then the sharks are, it's dissolving into the water. Well, like you're not supposed to flush your medications down the toilet, right? They're supposed to be like incinerated. You're supposed to like drop them off at a pharmacy, you give them to the pharmacy, and then they go somewhere and everything's incinerated, right? Which that's probably not great either,
Right.
air. But like if you flush them down the drain, like in hospitals, you used to dump all medications down the drain. Like
And that's what I was just gonna say. And that's not even like a long time ago.
No,
because I started as a nurse like 6 years ago, and we used to put them down the drain. So like bags of heparin,
antibiotics that were left,
and wonder why people, are antibiotic resistant, and because it all goes. And so that's what I'm saying too, is like, that is not like, that's a pretty new thing.
Right.
Like, I can't believe that wasn't done like way before, because I remember starting out as a nurse thinking, we're putting this stuff in our drains. And I mean, now we have like, different things that we dispose of it into, and who knows where it goes after that. But
I know. Yeah. But like, there's something I was going to say too, and now I forgot it.
Yeah. Sorry. I cut you off.
No. It was something I thought of when you were talking. Oh yeah. So what a lot of people don't know, right? What you don't know is a lot of the water that you're drinking is essentially chemically cleaned poop water. Just saying. Just saying. Like it really is. So like what they do is like they have giant ponds, right? And so like all this dirty ditch water, like factory water, like that they've used in a factory to produce like whatever, okay, all that water gets pumped into a giant pond, and then there's some sort of like aeration thing that happens with it. There's like some chemicals that they put in it, like whatever, and then it treats it. A water treatment plant. What do you think they're treating the water for you to drink it? Yeah. Shit water that you're now drinking that's been cleaned with chemicals.
And so when you go to some towns and you smell that shit smell on like certain days, or like where the wind catches it right,
just right. Yeah.
Those are the ponds
that are cleaning your water to go in your water tower for you to drink. So that's great. Yeah. And so like when you look up your address on that EWG website, like a lot of those chemicals, if you look them up, they're like, oh, well, they're just used to clean the water. They're just used to clean the water. Yeah, but the side effects of them are all still cancer. Like,
yeah. And again, like, okay, maybe they deem your water safe, but safe doesn't mean, or legally safe doesn't mean
it's actually safe.
Right.
Because there's, as we know, there's a lot of terminology that doesn't have like actual definitions, like the word natural or organic, like doesn't actually mean what you think it means.
Yeah.
And that's like a whole other thing.
Yeah. But that's just where it's too, like, I think it just gets overwhelming for people.
Mhm.
And so then people just, I feel like tend to, and I mean, I'm guilty of it too, to
Mhm.
just kind of like turn a blind eye and just be
Mhm.
like, well, whatever,
Like, yeah, like it's
because,
not actually going to hurt me. Well, not
right,
in the short term, but in the long term.
right. Well, and that's like too, I have recently like cooking oils,
Mhm.
like the cheap, like vegetable oil,
Mhm.
we don't use that anymore.
Mhm.
Because of, and I don't even remember exactly why. It's the linoleic acid in the
Mhm.
oils.
Mhm.
But I don't remember like what it does. I
Right.
just remember like reading about it and thinking, oh my gosh, we
It
need to
definitely
stop
can help.
using that.
Yeah. Mhm.
And so just using like coconut oil or,
Mhm.
just like an olive oil, like different
Mhm.
things like that.
Mhm. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
even if it's just like small changes,
Mhm.
and that's where too I feel like the small change for me started with my water machine.
Yeah. Literally. Literally.
And then I've just kind of, we just implement small things here and there. And, like you said, we live in a world that, you can grow your vegetables without chemicals, but you have the farmer right next door. But,
Mhm.
I guess I just have to believe that every little bit helps, and
Mhm.
that's all you
Yeah.
can do.
For sure. And the thing is like if it makes you feel better, then it's
Mhm.
worth it. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like if the water makes you feel better, it's worth it. And there are hundreds upon hundreds of thousands of testimonials about the water out there that you can look up. And yeah,
Well, and
but
not to mention, you can also use it to clean your fruits and vegetables.
well, exactly. Yeah. Cause like the pH 2.5 kills germs. It's antimicrobial. And so you can use that to clean your counters, your bathrooms, rinse your fruits and vegetables, right? Because like as a nurse, okay, as a nurse, we all know that when you wash your hands without water, are any of those germs coming off? No, because you need the soap to make the germs slippery to then wash off with the water, right?
Yeah.
Like you're not going to go in a room and clean someone's poopy butt and then wash your hands with just water and think they're clean, right?
Right.
So like you rinsing your fruits and vegetables under regular tap water is doing absolutely nothing, right?
Right.
Then people will use vinegar, right? Dilute the vinegar in the water, put the fruits and vegetables in there. Yes, because it's changing the acidity of the water to kill the germs, get the germs off. So this water machine, you can change the pH to 2.5. You wash your fruits and vegetables, right? Gets the germs off. Then you can switch to 11.5, and that actually breaks down the pesticides, that waxy substance that is on the fruits and vegetables, breaks that down, takes it off. Then you rinse it real quick with the 9.5 to get the pH balance back. Boom. You have actually cleaned the germs off, all the E. coli that's on there from all being shipped from wherever here in the US, and then also all the pesticides that have been on it, all of the
Mhm.
preservative that is put on it to keep that apple from rotting. Well, it's been in a shipping truck, for 14 days or something coming from California or wherever they come from. Like washing your fruits and vegetables with regular tap water does nothing. You cannot convince me different. You
No.
just- no.
It might get some visible like dirt off of it, but that's it. That's
Not
it.
the germs. Not the germs.
And not the chemicals.
No, not the chemicals for sure.
Because the water can't break the waxy barrier, and the soap doesn't do anything either. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, somehow it has been an hour and a half. It
I know.
always goes by so fast, but we always have such good conversation. So thank you so much for being here, Jordan. Quick
Yes,
wrap.
thank you.
Yeah, quick wrap up. Really work on mindset, money mindset. You guys, even if you just want information on like how to change your money mindset, you can reach out to us, right? We can help point you in the right direction. Okay. Because like Jordan and I have put in so much inner work in the last year to get ourselves to this point,
Yes.
in our lives where we are happy with the direction that we're going. We're happy with our money mindset. And it is a continuous work in progress. Like it's not something that you just do once and you're done with. But like
No.
once you do the work, you can kind of maintenance through it. You could kind of like coast your way through, right? And like not only would we be able to help you that way, but we can help you change your life with the water also. Like, honestly.
Well,
So,
and the financial and like there's
yeah, I wasn't even going to talk about the financial part. I kind of forgot about that. But yeah, like honestly, the financial part too is absolutely amazing because
yeah.
when you start with us, you get the mentorship that's going to teach you, right, how to do it, how to close sales, how to get leads, how to become a leader, right? Then we're going to help you close your first $75,000 in sales. That completely pays back your entire investment into this business. Okay.
And you
Then,
get cash.
yeah, and you get cash back. And let's see, we have like a week left or something in March here. In March, okay? If you can come in, if you can come in with our quad package this month. So quad means 4. That would give you 4 different distributor IDs, okay, to help you sell the most and get the most money back, right? If you can come in with that quad this month, you could be making more than $3,000 per sale. And it gets you closer. I think it gets you like, if you came in with the full package, I think it gets you like at least 3 like sales closer to like your next pay increase, right?
Yeah.
Units or something like that.
Yeah.
I'm not a scientist, you guys. I've said that before, but like
Mathematician.
I'm not a mathematician. I need a calculator. But anyways, I can tell you, I do know money though. I do know money. So I do know that you'd be making more than $3,000 per sale. Okay. So like absolutely astronomical. So like if you want mindset change, right? If you want financial change, if you want health change, like this is going to get you there. Okay. Like in the last year, we have experienced all 3 of those when we really only started for financial reasons, right? Like I'm going to be honest. I myself has started for selfish reasons of wanting to make money, and it has completely changed my life in all those different ways. And so just reach out to us, send us a DM. We're going to ask you some questions. We're going to get you over to the masterclass, and then we're going to get you booked on a call so we can answer your questions and help see if this is a good fit for you. So Thanks again, guys. Thanks again, Jordan. And we'll see you guys next time.
Bye.